Okay.
We're on lesson
73?
Yes. So we're doing another triplet today, 73, 74, and 75. And just for a little introduction for this, just for the recording. So we're doing a triplet of 3 of the lessons, 73, 74, and 75. Kevin will be reading them, and then we're going to go through the instruction for the application slowly, line by line, so it gives everyone time to sit with the lesson and actually apply it without having to try to keep in mind the instructions.
Okay. Lesson 73. I will there be light. Today we are considering the will you share with God. This is not the same as the ego's idle wishes, out of which darkness and nothingness arise. The will you share with God has all the power of creation in it. The ego's idle wishes are unshared and therefore have no power at all. Its wishes are not idle in the sense that they can make a world of illusions in which your belief can be very strong. But they are idle indeed in terms of creation. They make nothing that is real. Idle wishes and grievances are partners or co-makers in picturing the world you see. The wishes of the ego gave rise to it, and the ego's need for grievances, which are necessary to maintain it, peoples it with figures that seem to attack you and call for righteous judgment. These figures become middlemen the ego employs to traffic in grievances. They stand between your awareness and your brother's reality. Beholding them, you do not know your brothers or yourself. Your will is lost to you in this strange bartering, in which guilt is traded back and forth, and grievances increase with each exchange. Can such a world have been created by the will the Son of God shares with his Father? Did God create disaster for his Son? Creation is the will of both together. Would God create a world that kills himself? Today we will try once more to reach the world that is in accordance with your will. The light is in it because it does not oppose the will of God. It is not heaven, but the light of heaven shines on it. Darkness has vanished. The ego's idle wishes have been withdrawn. Yet the light that shines upon this world reflects your will, and so it must be in you that we will look for it. Your picture of the world can only mirror what is within. The source of neither light nor darkness can be found without. Grievances darken your mind, and you look out on a darkened world. Forgiveness lifts the darkness, reasserts your will, and lets you look upon a world of light. We have repeatedly emphasized that the barrier of grievances is easily passed and cannot stand between you and your salvation. The reason is very simple. Do you really want to be in hell? Do you really want to weep and suffer and die? Forget the ego's arguments, which seek to prove all this is really heaven. You know it is not so. You cannot want for this yourself. There is a point beyond which illusions cannot go. Suffering is not happiness, and it is happiness you really want. Such is your will in truth. And so salvation is your will as well. You want to succeed in what we are trying to do today. We undertake it with your blessing and your glad accord. We will succeed today if you remember that you want salvation for yourself. You want to accept God's plan because you share in it. You have no will that can really oppose it, and you do not want to do so. Salvation is for you. Above all else, you want the freedom to remember who you really are. Today, it is the ego that stands powerless before your will. Your will is free, and nothing can prevail against it. Therefore, we undertake the exercises for today in happy confidence, certain that we will find what is your will to find, and remember what it is your will to remember. No idle wishes can detain us, nor deceive us with an illusion of strength. Today your will be done, and forever the insane belief that it is hell in place of heaven that you choose. We will begin our longer practice periods with the recognition that God's plan for salvation, and only His, is wholly in accord with your will. It is not the purpose of an alien power thrust upon you unwillingly. It is the one purpose here on which you and your Father are in perfect accord. We will succeed today, the time appointed for the release of the Son of God from hell and from all idle wishes. His will is now restored to his awareness. He is willing this very day to look upon the light in him and be saved. After reminding yourself of this and determining to keep your will clearly in mind, tell yourself with gentle firmness and quiet certainty, I will there be light. Let me behold the light that reflects God's will and mine. Then let your will assert itself, join with the power of God and united with yourself. Put the rest of the practice period under their guidance. Join with them as they lead the way. In the shorter practice periods, again make a declaration of what you really want. Say, I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. This should be repeated several times an hour. It is most important, however, to apply today's idea in this form immediately you are tempted to hold a grievance of any kind. This will help you let your grievances go instead of cherishing them and hiding them in darkness.
Okay, so just sit back, get comfortable, relax. Say to yourself, I will there be light. We're beginning this practice period with the recognition that God's plan for salvation, and only His, is actually wholly in accord with your will. You want salvation. You want peace. You want the freedom of mind to remember who and what you are. Salvation is the one purpose here on which you and your Father are in perfect accord. This is the time for the release of the Son of God from hell and from all idle wishes. and you are the Son of God. We're restoring your will to your awareness. We're willing this day to look upon the light in us and be saved. Remind yourself of this and be determined to keep your will clearly in mind, telling yourself with gentle firmness and quiet certainty, I will there be light. Let me behold the light that reflects God's will and mine. Now let your will assert itself, joined with the power of God and united with yourself. Be firm with your commitment. Be determined to keep your will clearly in mind as we put the rest of the practice period under their guidance. We're joining them, the power of God and yourself, as they lead the way. I will there be light. Let me behold the light that reflects God's will and my own. Say to yourself then, I will there be light. Make a declaration of what you really want. I will there be light. In the face of any temptation to hold a grievance today of any kind, remind yourself, I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. Today we dispel the darkness and enter into light. I will there be light. Thank you.
'74. There is no will but God's. The idea for today can be regarded as a central thought toward which all our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have accepted this, you have recognized that your will is His. The belief that conflict is possible has gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but His. There is great peace in today's idea, and the exercises for today are directed toward finding it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination to understand what they mean and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for His Son. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. If there is one conflict area which seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Recognize the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved, and tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with Him. My conflict about cannot be real. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness, rather than a feeling of drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, will you recognize that you have reached it? If you feel yourself nearly slipping off into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. There is no will but God's. I share it with Him. Do this as often as necessary. There is definite gain in refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. In the shorter practice periods, which should be undertaken at regular and predetermined intervals today, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two every half hour, with eyes closed if possible, would be well spent on this today.
Okay, so we're sitting back and we're going to apply this now. We're going to have another 10-15 minute practice period. Again, we're seeking God's will. Say to yourself then, there is no will but God's. We're beginning this longer practice period by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly, and with firm determination to understand what they mean and hold them in mind. So let us repeat these thoughts firmly, determined to be shown what they mean. We undertake this practice period with the strength of God and with the Holy Spirit. We let them take over the practice period and show us what these thoughts are pointing to. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Repeat those thoughts. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. We want to spend a few moments thinking of related thoughts. Thoughts such as, I am at peace. I am wholly at peace. I can only be at peace because there is no will but God's. Nothing can disturb me because there is no will but God's, and my will and God's are one. His will is the only will there is, and His will for me is peace. I cannot be in conflict because there is no will but God's. God wills only peace for His Son, and I am His Son. If any conflict thoughts cross your mind in this introductory phase, quickly tell yourself, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. These conflict thoughts have no meaning because there is no will but God's. There is no conflict in His will because He wills only peace. If there is a conflict area which seems particularly difficult to resolve, take a moment, let it come to mind, and single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Identify the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved. Tell yourself, there is no will but God's, and I share it with Him. My conflict thoughts about this person, my conflict thoughts about this situation cannot be real. Only the thoughts I think with God are real. And His thoughts can only bring me peace. He wills only peace for His Son, and I am His Son. My conflict thoughts about this person cannot be real. My conflict thoughts about this situation cannot be real. There is no will but God's, and I share it with Him. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. You're claiming your inheritance. His peace is yours. His peace is your salvation. Sink into it. Feel it closing around you. Let it envelop you. Let it lift you. We're seeking his peace today. We're letting him show us there is no will but God's. We're claiming what is truly ours today. We are willing there be light and letting that light lead the way. Feel his peace surrounding you. Feel his peace lifting your mind, transporting you into the light you are. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but pay attention, but you will feel the difference. The difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, even a little, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness, rather than a feeling of drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, will you recognize that you have reached it? Let our minds sink and open. Feel his peace. Should you feel yourself slipping off into withdrawal, repeat the idea for today and try again. Say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek his peace today. I claim my inheritance today. My will is his. I cannot be in conflict. Thank you.
Lesson 75. The light has come. The light has come. You are healed and you can heal. The light has come. You are saved and you can save. You are at peace and you bring peace with you wherever you go. Darkness and turmoil and death have disappeared. The light has come. Today we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster. There are no dark dreams now. The light has come. Today begins the time of light for you and everyone. It is a new era in which a new world is born. The old one has left no trace upon it in its passing. Today you see a different world because the light has come. Our exercises for today will be happy ones, in which we offer thanks for the passing of the old and the beginning of the new. No shadows from the past remain to darken our sight, and the world forgiveness offers us. Today we will accept the new world as what we want to see. We will be given what we desire. We will to see the light. The light has come. Our longer practice periods will be devoted to looking on the world our forgiveness shows us. This is what we want to see, and only this. Our single purpose makes our goal inevitable. Today the real world rises before us in gladness to be seen at last. Sight is given us now that the light has come. We do not see the ego's shadow on the world today. We see the light, and in it do we see heaven's reflection lie across the world. Begin the practice period by telling yourself the glad tidings of your release. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Dwell not upon the past today. Keep a completely open mind, washed of all past ideas and clean of every concept you have made. You have forgiven the world today, and you can look upon it now as if you never saw it before. You do not know yet what it looks like. You merely wait to have it shown to you. While you wait, repeat several times, slowly and in complete patience. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Realize that your forgiveness entitles you to vision. Understand that the Holy Spirit never fails to give the gift of sight to the forgiving. Believe He will not fail you now. You have forgiven the world. He will be with you as you watch and wait. He will show you what true vision sees. It is His will, and you have joined with Him. Wait patiently for Him. He will be there. The light has come. You have forgiven the world. Tell Him you know you cannot fail because you trust in Him. And tell yourself you wait in certainty to look upon the world He promised you. From this time forth, you will see differently. Today the light has come, and you will see the world that has been promised you since time began, and in which is the end of time made sure. The shorter practice periods, too, will be joyful reminders of your release. Remind yourself every quarter of an hour or so that today is a time for special celebration. Give thanks for mercy and the love of God. Rejoice in the power of forgiveness to heal your sight completely. Be confident that on this day there is a new beginning. Without the darkness of the past upon your eyes, you cannot fail to see today. And what you see will be so welcome that you will gladly extend today forever. Say then, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. Should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back to darkness, the light has come. I have forgiven you. We dedicate this day to the serenity in which God would have you be. Keep it in your awareness of yourself and see it everywhere today. As we celebrate the beginning of your vision and the sight of the real world, which has come to replace the unforgiven world you thought was real.
The light has come. So for the application of lesson 75, we'll do another 10 to 15 minute practice period. Sit back, relax as best you can. Close your eyes. Quiet your mind and say to yourself, the light has come. Remind yourself our exercises for today will be happy ones, in which we offer thanks for the passing of the old and the beginning of the new. Today, we accept the new world as what we want to see, and we will be given what we desire. Say to yourself, the light has come. We will to see the light, for the light has come. Say to yourself, the light has come. We cannot see the ego's shadow on the world today, for the light has come. We wait to see the world in light. In it, We see heaven's reflection. Begin this practice period telling yourself the glad tidings of your release. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Dwell not upon the past today. Keep a completely open mind, washed of all past ideas, clean of every concept you have made. Remind yourself, you have forgiven the world today. You can look upon it now as if you have never seen it before. Remind yourself, you do not know yet what it looks like, so you merely wait to have it shown to you. While you wait, repeat several times, slowly and in complete patience. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. We call upon the power of the universe in us to lead us in this practice period. We give it to the power of the universe in us to show us and reveal the world to us, washed clean of all shadows of the past. Realize that your forgiveness entitles you to vision. The Holy Spirit never fails to give the gift of sight to the forgiving. Trust He will not fail you now. You have forgiven the world. Remind yourself as you watch and wait. He is with you. He will show you what true vision sees. True vision is His will, and you have joined with Him now. Wait. Listen. Let Him show you. Wait patiently for Him. He will be there. He is there. The light has come. Remember, you have forgiven the world. Turn to Him and tell Him you know you cannot fail because you trust in Him. Tell yourself you wait in certainty to look upon the world He promised you. From this time forth, you will see differently. Today the light has come, and you will see the world that has been promised you since time began, and in which is the end of time ensured. Remind yourself, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. And wait. Let Him show you the world that reflects God's will and yours. Give thanks for mercy and the love of God. Rejoice in the power of forgiveness to heal your sight completely, and be confident that on this day there is a new beginning. Without the darkness of the past upon your eyes, you cannot fail to see today, and what you see will be so welcome, you will gladly extend today forever. Remind yourself, The light has come. I have forgiven the world. And let this joyous news and happy day extend for all time. We dedicate this day to the serenity in which God would have you be. Keep it in your awareness of yourself, and see it everywhere today as we celebrate the beginning of your vision and the sight of the real world which has come to replace the unforgiven world you thought was real. Should you feel tempted today, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven you. Thank you.